Building an amusement park on top of an Indian burial ground seems like a fair reason to assume that an amusement park would be haunted. When speaking about this small, quaint West Virginia amusement park, you can't help but mention the fact that Lake Shawnee was built on top of Native American burial ground, and yes, this does play into the incredible haunted stories that surround the park.
Opening its doors to visitors in 1926, the park was built as a place for families to enjoy time together, quickly becoming a destination spot for locals. Here's where things get dark for the parks. Starting in the 1950s, the park saw many deaths, shocking the locals and park officials. A delivery truck backed into a swing ride and struck a young girl, killing her on the spot tragically.
Another boy drowned in the pool, reportedly getting his arm stuck in a drain pipe. The park closed its doors officially in 1966 and the land sat dormant for many years, but what sat below the surface was all but brewing with haunted lore and more.
The park reopened in the 1980s when Gaylord White purchased the land and had a successful first year, but high insurance rates caused the park to close down after 3 short years and pivot activities in the seasons. They planned on building a mud bogging track, and while excavating, made some eerie discoveries.
Yeah, during the 1700s, the area was home to the Native American tribe, the Shawnee. Excavators uncovered bracelets, clothing, and, well, they also found a mass grave and baby skeletons, which is when they stopped digging, that was when they decided that was too much. For anyone familiar with the paranormal, this is a huge uh-oh moment when disturbing graves, especially when spiritual rituals and other aspects come into play. It is suggested that more than 3,000 Shawnee lie on the property, and this furthered another story about the property, that being the Clay family.
It is said that the natives have killed the children of the first English settlers in the county. 2 were murdered on the property, and another was burned at the stake in another location. Very creepy stuff going on with the spirits left behind at Lake Shawnee.
Yeah, they said that they tracked them all the way back to Ohio and they found his son burned at a stake there, which is just, that's ruthless. But starting off with the boy who drowned in the 1950s, it was reported that his spirit still roams the grounds, but don't be alarmed if you see him. The story suggests that he is a kind spirit and not one to fear.
Guests who have seen the boy and park employees said his favorite area was the front of the park, where he could greet guests and protect them in ways that he couldn't. It is believed that a pinwheel on the side of the ticket booth is connection to this world and has been reported to move and adjust speeds when asked.
Yeah, there was a story about some guests there on the tour or whatever, or the park guides, and they were telling it to speed up, slow down, or stop, and it was. Not on footage,
creepy.
but that's still some pretty creepy stuff. Many people also report interactions with a little girl who died on the swings during the 50s as well. Tragically, most of the stories are related to real deaths on the grounds, but the swing was acquired by the White family and has a connection for the spirit. The interesting thing here is when Walter White reacquired the property, he purchased those swings from somewhere else, brought them back and ran the VIN numbers on them, and found out that it was the original one from Lake Shawnee at the time. Her swing is marked by a red ribbon, and many creepy interactions have taken place near the swing. On still days, it is said that an owl will seem to dance in the breeze that only it can feel.
The park offers tours, Gaylord's son being one of the guides. One story has it, a guy called Chris and drove numerous hours after work and didn't elaborate much, but seemed to know where things were in the park. Chris had gotten weird vibes from the guy, but continued giving the tour and allowing him to look around. They reached the Blue Shack, seemingly having something guide him there. Upon opening the door and entering the shack with one step, a force physically picked the man up and moved him out of the shed. The guy reportedly left right after, getting in his truck and driving off. And well, if true, I don't blame him. I'd have done the same thing. Chris said he hasn't heard or seen the man since.
Some have reported strange sightings on the grounds, ice-cold feelings on their hands as if they're being grabbed, maybe by that of a young child who can't find their way home. The challenging stories of the Shawnee tribe burial grounds and other creepy occurrences throughout the park, such as objects moving and being observed on guided tours to strange sounds at night. The park is riddled with a deep history rooted beneath what was supposed to be an amusement park meant to bring smiles to all.
Some of the content we covered today involved real people, and we wanted to make sure we were graceful in the way we discussed topics. So names and references to names are left out. Tragedy struck the park a few times and plays a role in its haunted stories today.
Thanks for watching another episode of Most Haunted Amusement Parks and taking a chilling journey through amusement park lore and dark history. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We have plenty of amusement park content coming with the haunted stuff. And if you'd like to become a coaster, ghost, and producer of the channel, check out our memberships page for awesome shoutouts and other exclusive perks. Big shout out to the CP Coaster Lover and a huge shout out to all of our members as well. And
as always, thanks for being a part of our spooky community and
for Coaster Ghostin' with Ghoster Coasters. Have a spooky night, everybody.